Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I am Baisali Bharadwaj Dash, a student of 2nd MSc Food Science and Nutrition of Avnashlingam Institute for Home Science and Higher Education for Women. In this video, I'll talk about nutrition and lifestyle changes during the post-pregnancy phase. In this video, we'll see about eclampsia, first 1000 days, breastfeeding, colostrum, weaning foods, infant feeding, amylase-rich foods, and immunization. Eclampsia. Eclampsia is basically the most critical condition of preeclampsia where the women start having seizures. These seizures usually last about for a minute and the person may experience confusion and may even go into coma. Eclampsia is included in the hypertensive disorders of pregnancy. It usually affects women in the second half of pregnancy and it may also occur after delivery. These seizures include starting episodes and marked decrease in alertness along with violent convulsions. It is very rare and only affects about 0.5% women suffering from preeclampsia. Symptoms of preeclampsia include hypertension, proteinuria, convulsion with seizures, nausea, vomiting, headaches, and even choroidal blindness due to brain damage. Multi-organ failure may also occur after the seizures, resulting into new symptoms such as pain in the abdomen, jaundice, decreased urination, and panting or shortness of breath. Retardation of intrauterine growth of the uterus, convulsions in the mother can also lead to fetal distress and a decreased heart rate of the fetus, a condition known as bradycardia. Pulmonary edema, placental abruption, agitation, muscle pain, and headaches are also some of the symptoms of eclampsia. Next, we'll see about first 1000 days. The first 1000 days refers to a child's life from the moment they are conceived until they have reached the 2 years of age. These first 1000 days are very essential for a child, and nutrition during this phase is highly essential. The first 1000 days includes 270 days of pregnancy plus 365 days of the first year and 365 days of the second year. During this time, growth and development is rapid and it involves growth and development of the immune system, brain, and body. The power of first 1000 days, it can be divided into 3 phases. First is pregnancy, that is from pregnancy till birth, and babies developing in the womb draw all of their nutrients from their mother. Infancy, that is from birth till 6 months. Breast milk is the superfood for babies and serves as the first immunization against illness and disease. Next is toddlerhood, that is 6 months till 2 years. This sensitive period or window of opportunity to eat healthy nutritious diet protects against risk of childhood obesity and other chronic conditions. Next, we'll see about breastfeeding. Breastfeeding is when a mother feeds her baby from the breast milk, usually direct from her breast, and it is also called as nursing. It is one of the most effective ways to ensure child health and survival. Many medical experts, including the American Academy of Pediatrics, AAP, and the American College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists, strongly recommend breastfeeding for 6 months. What to eat when breastfeeding? Eggs, which are a perfect source of meeting body's regular protein requirement and are also a source of vitamin D. Low-fat dairy products, they give calcium, which is required for the baby's bone structure development and are essential for the mother's well-being. Liquids to ensure proper milk production and to stay well hydrated. Lean meats from fish and chicken and are rich in vital nutrients. Seasonal fruits, which are rich sources of antioxidant vitamins and minerals. Green leafy vegetables are sources of vitamin A, vitamin C, iron, calcium, and healthy antioxidants. Whole grains are fortified sources of essential nutrients like protein, vitamins, iron, and other minerals. And lastly, legumes are a rich source of proteins and iron content, especially for vegan mothers. Best foods that are used to increase breast milk are asparagus, which is high in fiber and also has vitamin A and K. Dill leaves have high fiber content and vitamin K. Apricots are rich in calcium and fiber. Spinach contains iron, calcium, and folic acid. Basil is a source of antioxidant. Carrots are a vital source of beta-carotene, carbohydrates, and potassium. Salmon is a good source of essential fatty acids and omega-3. Seeds like fennel, cumin, and fenugreek and black sesame Almonds are rich in omega-3 and vitamin E. Omega-3 especially helps in lactation boosting hormones to help produce more milk. Other foods are oatmeal, barley, chickpea, and brown rice. Some foods that need to be avoided while breastfeeding are sugary foods, which make breastfeeding baby prone to obesity later. Spices may make the baby irritated and fussy for hours. Citrus foods may lead to fussiness and spitting up. Caffeine may lead to irritation, crankiness, and sleeplessness. Processed foods contain preservatives and additives and are not good for the baby. Garlic. Some babies may grimace or fuss at the breast if they detect garlic's aroma. Peppermint, fennel, parsley, or chamomile. These herbs may reduce the milk supply. And lastly, alcohol. There is no level of alcohol in breast milk that is considered safe for a baby. Exclusive breastfeeding. Exclusive breastfeeding means feeding the baby with breast milk soon after birth and continuing it until 6 months of age without giving the baby any other food. The baby is given only breast milk and nothing else whenever hungry. For the first hour, early initiation of breastfeeding within 1 hour of birth. In the first 6 months, exclusive breastfeeding. And for the first 2 years, introduction of nutritionally adequate and safe complementary foods at 6 months together with continued breastfeeding up to 2 years of age or beyond. Using right method of breastfeeding to ensure adequate availability of milk. A mother should wash hand before feeding. A mother should drink water before feeding. First feeding the baby from one breast. In the beginning, milk will be watery and later the milk will become thicker and filled with nutrients. The breast will feel lighter after feeding the baby both those types of milks. After once one breast is light, feed the baby from the other breast. And this is the cross-cradle method of holding the baby for breastfeeding. Benefits of breastfeeding. Both mother and baby benefit from breastfeeding. For baby, it is a natural food designed for the baby. They are less likely to die of SIDS, less chance of diarrhea and vomiting, 20% reduction in the risk of acute lymphatic leukemia, 30% reduction in the incidence of type 1 diabetes mellitus. Breastfeeding satisfies baby's emotional needs. It lessens the risk of being an obese later in life, protects the baby from infections and diseases. In case of mother, it reduces the risk of osteoporosis, lowers the risk of getting breast and ovarian cancer. Breastfeeding prevents depression. 10% less likely to develop cardiovascular diseases, 11% less likely to develop hypertension, 50% more protected from rheumatoid arthritis. It helps the uterus contact after baby to control postpartum bleeding. It is of the right temperature and it's available whenever and wherever the baby needs a feed. Then we'll see about colostrum. Colostrum is the first milk and acts as the first immunization of the baby. Breast milk is highly nutritious. It gives desired immunity and protects the baby from many diseases. No other food like tea, honey, or not even water should be given to the newborn baby at birth. Any such foods or fluids other than breast milk increases the risk of illness such as diarrhea, which could be proved to be life-threatening. Colostrum is the baby's first vaccine and frequent feeding will help the mother to produce more breast milk. Correct latching position is very essential. The correct latch on is when the baby's mouth covers the areola and the lips should be flanged out. If a baby gets the correct latching position, then it leads to a healthy child, and if there is not a correct latching position, then it may lead to a malnourished child. Next, we'll see about weaning. Weaning is defined as the systematic processes of introduction of suitable food at the right time in addition to mother's milk in order to provide needed nutrients to the baby. Next, complementary feeding. On completion of 6 months, breast milk alone cannot meet the nutritional needs of the baby. Thus, in addition to breast milk, complementary food should be started to meet the nutritional needs of the growing child. Delaying complementary feeding has a negative effect on the child's development and increases the risk of malnutrition. Infant feeding. At different stages of infancy, the amount and composition of food given to the child changes. As age increases, the amount of food also progressively increases. Simultaneously, the composition of the food also changes. So for a 6-month baby, breastfeeding should be continued. On completion of 6 months, start feeding baby with 2 to 3 tablespoons of soft, well-matched foods 2 to 3 times a day. Introduce one food at a time, such as small amount of vegetables followed by fruits, dal and cereals. Increase the amount of feed slowly. For 6 to 9 months old baby, 2 to 3 tablespoons to be gradually increased to half cup or katori at each meal of mashed food, 2 to 3 times each day and 1 to 2 snacks. 9 to 12 months baby, from 9 months up to 12 months, at least half cup or katori at each meal of finely chopped or mashed food and foods that the baby can pick up with his or her fingers, 3 to 4 times each day and 1 to 2 snacks. From 12 months up to 2 years, introduce family foods chopped or mashed. Give 3/4 to 1 full cup or katori at each meal 3 to 4 times a day each day and 1 to 4 snacks. For 2 years and older children, give a variety of family foods to the child, at least 1 full katori of 250 ml at each meal, 3 to 4 meals each day with 1 to 2 nutritious snacks between meals. Next, we'll see about amylase-rich foods. Flours of germinated cereals which are rich in enzyme alpha-amylase constitute amylase-rich foods. Even small amounts of these type of foods liquefy and reduce the bulk of cereal-based diet. Thus, ARFs help in increasing the energy density of weaning gruels and in reducing its bulk as well. Mothers can add ARF to increase the digestibility of low-cost weaning foods prepared at home. Preparation of ARF is very simple and can be done by mothers at home. Preparation of amylase-rich foods. Take 250 grams of wheat, add 2 to 3 volumes of water and soak it for 8 hours. After 8 hours, drain excess water and germinate wheat in dark for 24 to 48 hours. Then sun-dry it for 5 to 8 hours. Then roast gently in a flat pan just to remove water. Then grind and powder the grains, that is ARFs, and store in airtight bottles or jars. Add 5 grams, that is 1 teaspoon of ARF after cooking to every feed. Next, we'll see about immunization. The practice of maternal immunization has gained popularity among the general public due to its increased benefits for both mother and child. Vaccination during pregnancy can protect the mother directly against preventable infections and thus protects the fetus. It can also provide further fetal protection against preventable infectious diseases by the transport of specific antibodies to the fetus before birth. This is the National Immunization Schedule, which you can refer. So, in conclusion, a pregnant woman in the pre-pregnancy, pregnancy, and post-pregnancy phase should eat at least one food item from all 5 in the diet in order to meet energy, protein, and nutrient requirements for proper growth and development of the developing fetus. Eat at least 3 main meals and 2 nutritious snacks in a day. Consume supplementary food or meal provided by Anganwadi centers regularly along with daily diet to meet the additional nutrient requirements of pregnancy. Consume 1 IFA tablet daily with water or lemon water. Consume calcium tablets daily after meals. Drink plenty of water and fluids. Avoid consumption of fatty foods and sweetened beverages to prevent excessive weight gain. Child spacing of at least 3 years is desirable to restore health and to avoid malnutrition in mother and child. 30 minutes of moderate exercise or brisk walking every day. And lastly, prefer institutional delivery to avoid complications during labor. These are the references that I have used to make this PPT and the video. Thank you for your patient listening. If you like the video, do like, share and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.